Pimpin' Palm, the Mac emoji, and we finna get into another review for Shang Manson out of North Las Vegas. The project is called Late Nights in the 5.0. And if you're ready to win, I suggest you come along with us to make America player again. Alright, Palm Tree, let's get into this review. Shang Manson, Late Nights in the 5.0. Alright, so this is super West Coast, mop up, make America player again. Now, that first radio skit, the imaging is fire. Okay, just got to point that out as somebody who is a child of a radio household, if you will. Very West Coast, very 90s, and that's really the pocket that this project stays in. Now, first of all, who is Shang Manson? He is a North Las Vegas rapper who is part of RBL Posse, so he's, carrying on the legacy of that Bay Area 90s rap group. Shout out to my uncle Black C. Go check out my interview with him and Joe Fresco, who's also part of the RBL Posse camp, part of their family. So here's the thing about Shang. Do not judge this book by its cover. Do not compare Shang to other white rappers over 40. He is not Vinnie Paz. He is not Apathy. He is not Brother Ali. He is not Aesop Rock. He don't even sound Backpack like any of them dudes I just mentioned. He is very traditional West Coast, G-Funk, more bounce to the ounce. And what you are going to find is that there are going to be some real 5.0 anthems for your cookouts, for your barbecues, for your slow and low car shows, etc. All right, let's get into it. Styling on them. Ooh, classic battle rap reference. I can appreciate that. And again, there's some lowrider car show shit all over it. This is a good drop for the late spring going into summer. All right, mind your business. So West Coast. Reminds me of Tupac Ain't Hard to Find, which is one of my favorite tracks off of All Eyes on Me, but this is definitely one of the more memorable ones. Sorry, I skipped over a song just now. Get Like Me. And I just kept thinking of the David Banner record. Have you ever seen the Chevy with the butterfly doors? That Black Sea feature came in clutch. Okay, Players Only. Definitely got that Cali lyricism. Kind of has that NorCal sound. Smooth R&B hook. And Joe Fresco was on there popping it. Shout out to my boy. But what the new generation of RBL does well is make these really well-produced West Coast slappers. Catchy hooks, great instrumentation, good collaborations. This is really what they strive to make. Locked in. That's what makes me proud to be from the West Coast. You know what I mean? And you can really hear Shang with that Ice Cube influence, okay? So the 90s nostalgia is just in your face with it, okay? KD Kane, 5.0 anthem. That Computer Love sample is classic. Again, you pulling up to the car show, you pulling up to the scene, parking lot pimping. This is one that you're going to want to be in your Cutlass, in your 5.0, just whatever you're driving, you're going to want to be playing it when you're pulling up slowly to wherever you're going, okay? Playeristic Heroes anthem. Ain't no Captain Save-A-Ho. And Captain Save-A-Ho is my favorite E40 song of all time, by the way. But I kind of felt like dude was almost like a Walmart Charlie Wilson on that hook. Like, he was trying to get his Uncle Charlie on, which no disrespect. I mean, y'all gonna say, oh, he's at Walmart. He's palm throwing shade over there. It's like, hey, man, listen, I just got to, keep it real. I got to say how I feel about it. Okay, Poppin' Tonight is the best song thus far. Shout out to my Uncle Kokane on there. So fresh. If you're gonna listen to one song off this project, make sure it's Poppin' Tonight. I don't encourage you to go straight to one song without listening to them in order, but if you gotta do that, go straight to Poppin' Tonight. Okay, Brother Mike Willis interlude. I think interludes are underrated, and I think that's what makes a project go from a project to an album, is these well thought out breaks of the message and the vibe that you want to convey. So props to Shang for organizing this really well. Okay, Scheming. Smooth underground West Coast, something to smoke to. Hard G-Funk. This is another one of my favorites. With that Death to Renegades line had me laughing. However You Want It, classic sample. That dude, the Landlord, got off, man. I gotta look into him a little bit more. And it seemed like they were giving Shang all the smooth hooks, you know, and that's kind of the sound hip hop wise that I've been wanting to explore lately. You know, that West Coast hip hop and R&B sound, you know, kind of on that underground tip, and give me a good lyricist with a good vocalist, you know what I mean? So that you definitely get a taste of that on this album, okay? Game So Tight, another one of my favorites. Okay, now here's A&R Palm talking. All right, here's who I would want to pair up Shang with: Ramirez, Bashan, Cold Blooded, maybe White John, Lil Woofy Woof, maybe Key Nyada, Anthony Danza. Okay, all from the West Coast. And probably, you know, I always say Jay Worthy, but at this point, that's like a cliche. And shout out to P. Worthy. You know, he works magnificently with many people. But these are just, you know, some of the guys who came to mind that would be like, hey, I wonder what it would be like if Shang did a track with him, okay? And also, shout out Dylan Garcia. Yeah, Dylan Garcia and some of the ladies that he's collabed with, like Nichelle and Kalari. I would definitely want to introduce Shang Manson to Dylan Garcia. I think that would be kind of fire. You know, just two dudes kind of from the old school, you know, kind of coming of age in the 90s and making that nostalgic retro music, you know, that we can all still appreciate today. So without being too long-winded here, those are my thoughts on Shang Manson, Late Nights in the 5.0. And him and I got some more talking and some more fellowshipping to do on a business tip. I'm looking forward to that. If you guys have checked out this project, let me know what your thoughts on it are in the comments. And big ups to everyone at The Right Way Productions and Shanghai Music Group. And peace, love, Palm. Are you an unsigned or independent artist looking for a review of your music? Well, you need to holler at Palm. Send an email to prettyawesomelitmusic@outlook.com or just message me on Instagram.
You better follow Palm,
biatch.